and proving when the pressure is on that he does get a little hot under the collar. And with all the stuff that he's going through, the car not in the place that he wants it to be. I mean, he's been winless since, how far ago are we thinking now of Canadian Grand Prix, Spanish Grand Prix? I think he's not had a win this year. And, while it may not look as if the championship is as close as it's being made out to be, they want to do what can do to protect that lead. And I think, at times we see a bit of that Michael Schumacher-esque, by any means necessary sort of driving. And that's something that I think while it gets lauded in some corners and then scathed at by others, we have to ensure that it's everyone is looked at consistently. And that's a big thing of mine, looking at how the season has progressed so far, trying to look at it not with any sort of bias either. It's been real difficult with all the commentary that's being put towards us regarding this. So if we're just going to isolate the incident and talk about what happened today, the penalty was, just. I wasn't expecting two lots of 10-second penalties, but the fact that a 10-second penalty was applied meant that the stewards are doing their job. So whoever last week was like, oh, they're biased against Lando because they didn't penalise Max for going off the track too. Well, this week it's happened. They're going to be reviewing the rules of engagement apparently ahead of the Qatar Grand Prix with all the drivers together. So, it opens up a bigger can of worms. And sorry to get carried away here with this, because it's really been really difficult sitting here and watching all the commentary, watching all the opinion. And it all kind of goes back to Abu Dhabi 21 and people who we don't want to mention their names and all the things that the FIA promised since then that will change. Has it really, though? Apart from removing a particular individual as the race director, has anything changed? I don't think so. So we should be applying more scrutiny and more pressure on the people making these decisions. The fact that they have the extra, extra tools at their disposal now with the bunker off-site as well. I'm just surprised that, we're still getting inconsistent decisions and people perceiving things as being, not one way or the other. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm working myself into a tizzy with this one. You can tell that it really is frustrating as a spectator to see that, at times where both drivers have been just pure and hard racing, that, we have to throw the rule book at them. And then at times where things are blatantly out of order and against, any sort of rules of engagement, it falls by the wayside and whatnot. So, yeah, I think in this situation, the penalty was just. Not that it, did a whole lot, like as in Verstappen still had the pace and the prowess, I guess, to fight back through and finish where he did inside the points. Lando strong on the hard tyre towards the end of the race, and if he had a few more laps, I'm sure he would have caught signs as well. But to come back and finish second, I think good for him, good for McLaren. Now they've got to worry about Ferrari. So when you complain about times where his teammates should have let him pass for extra points and this and that, I think you can go back and say, well, it was the Constructors' Championship all along that you guys should have been focusing on. So it doesn't matter who finishes where as long as you're getting the points, because Ferrari, as much as we've not talked about them in the last couple of races with the Lando and Max championship faux battle going on, Ferrari have quietly worked themselves into contention here and could sweep the rug out of McLaren, which as a McLaren fan, I'm sad to say, but when you're focusing on the wrong thing, this sort of stuff happens.
Very, very passionate words there indeed, Jawad. Thank you. And yes, you made some very good point about inconsistencies, and yeah, things haven't really changed, have they? I think that's probably a very good way to put it.